Wait, why isn't this guy in a studio with a podcast mic? Yeah, no podcast mics needed here in nature. Let's just take a walk and talk about artificial intelligence, what's coming, what's happening, and how this is affecting our brain. The AI cognitive impact is real. Everyone feels it, everyone senses it. Whether or not you've gone this deep into it, I think especially now, if you've been a heavy user for any amount of time, but especially if you've used AI for more than a few months, you've used these tools, they were kind of toys, but you've gone through the phases of playing with them, using them productively. New stuff comes out, you play with it, it breaks like OpenClaw, then you use it productively again. If you've gone through those phases, then you've sensed and you've seen that the last few months, things have changed in a massive way. That there's been a really big shift in terms of the cognitive capacity needed, the cognitive focus, the cognitive weight, let's say, that is necessary in order to direct these models, in order to collaborate with them, in order to work with them to get really good output. It's not just about prompting. People are still selling courses on prompting. It's ridiculous. Like that ended 6 to 8 months ago. It is about communication, it is about structuring, but it's also about your ability to focus at a really high level and to put your brain in motion to get into a flow state, to really dial in, to hone in on the details, but also to see the big picture for the whole vision of what you're doing. And that's what AI is really helps with, but it's also what's the most mentally taxing, is to have both of those things going on at the same time, where you're having to look at the vision for the big picture and also work with those details at a really intense pace. What's happening? I think a lot of people who are heavy, intense users of AI are starting to sense this. The research bears it out that there are two diverging paths with AI usage. One of those is, of course, you're using it to level up, you're getting smarter, you're getting faster, you're getting stronger, you're getting more capable of using your own brain, your own ability to think critically. And the other path is the people who are outsourcing their thinking, the people who are happy with being lazy, the people who tend to trust the experts. That could be the government, the media, it's the people who have the degrees and all that. Now, those people are outsourcing their thinking to AI. They don't question, they don't think critically about the answers that they're given. They just trust it blindly because, well, it's AI, so it must know. Or, hey, AI, do this for me. And you're like, oh, why does this recipe taste so bad? Well, because you didn't really communicate it very well and what you wanted it to give you a recipe for, so it's going to taste like shit because you gave it a shit instruction, but then you just believed it blindly without saying, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. I'm always very skeptical. I'm one of those tinfoil hat people and have been for a couple decades. So while I love AI and while I've used AI for several years, I don't fully trust it. Even today, even the models like Claude Opus 4.6 and the new GPT 5.4 and how they're supposedly so intelligent and 180 IQ and all this, they still hallucinate, they still get stuff wrong. And so it's important to rely on your own cognition, your own experience in life, your own ability to think and constantly question. Use these tools, but use them collaboratively. Use them as you would use subcontractors or virtual assistants, people that you're outsourcing to on the other side of the world. Many people that run businesses or that have worked online or whatever, global nomads, you've outsourced to people on the other side of the world through Upwork or Fiverr. You know that you don't just give them an instruction and then just trust that whatever they produce is 100% perfect. Like it never is. And so why would you do that with AI? Why would you outsource everything, the quality control, the thinking, the taste, all of that to something that is artificial and that is prone to have hallucinations and that is, quite frankly, middle of the pack in terms of taste standards? You have to stay in the loop. Something that I said a couple weeks ago is that the one thing that agents like OpenClaw and the other agents that are coming out, the one thing that agents can't replace is human taste. They just can't. There's something about the soul, there's something about life experience, there's something about lived experience as a human, as a spiritual being having a human experience that an agent just can't replace in terms of taste. And so, especially for creative people who have created at a high level, in whatever way. You know that AI agents still can't duplicate taste as well as a human can when a human's in the loop, but a human using those tools definitely can. It's gonna be important to figure out a routine and a rhythm as you grow to make sure that you are leveling up, that you are using AI like a mental gym. Now, if you're an athlete of any sort, you know that you don't just jump off the couch if you've been injured for a while and you've been recovering, or if you have gotten out of shape, or if you haven't trained for a long time. You don't just go full bore 100% the first day. You kind of got to work into it the first week, get back into a rhythm, get your muscles warmed up and primed, and get your joints working again, especially the older you get. You kids can laugh at me all you want about being an unk, but do that when you're younger, and then you can be like Tom Brady and LeBron James, who have always taken care of their bodies that way since they were young. And when you do that, it doesn't hit you as hard when you get older. But the same thing mentally with AI is figuring out a rhythm and a flow, because it's really easy to just be like, I'm gonna work every waking hour, I'm gonna work till 2 in the morning, I'm gonna get up at 6 or 7, like I'm gonna just work every bathroom break, I'm gonna send another prompt. And even for the people who are on the cognitive enhancement trajectory, that's not healthy, and long term that's gonna burn you out. The same way that you wouldn't probably go to the gym 5-6 hours a day lifting heavy. Like, you gotta rest no matter what age you are. You gotta rest and let your body recuperate. The same thing with your mind. But when you do, when you combine heavy lifting with proper nutrition and the rest periods, then you start to really see great results. So the promise of automation is not so much that you'll be able to outsource your thinking. It's that you'll be able to outsource all of the time-consuming tasks, all of the menial tasks, the labor that you don't necessarily really want to do, the pixel pushing, searching and sifting through hundreds and hundreds of articles to find the 3 or 4 that are really quality information. That's what we want to use these AI tools to do, to save human time, not so we can spend more of that time in trying to produce more, accumulate more. To simply use it in a measured, rhythmic way to get into flow with our own mental capacity, and using AI to help us get mentally stronger, tougher, wiser, and more capable. Then you can really start to see building a future and building a different level of human. And that's what we're gonna see. There's kind of 2 paths with a 3rd wild card. One is cognitive enhancement trajectory, where you're building that mental muscle and you're getting smarter and faster and more capable because you're challenging yourself to grow. And the other is just lazy people outsourcing their thinking, who are then losing, and like physiologically losing, brain power. But the third is the people who are just not involved in AI at all, who are not using AI tools for anything yet. And there is a massive sector of society that are still in that place. Yes, they're behind, but it would be better to be starting with all of your brain capacity and then use AI tools to start leveling up whenever they do decide, oh, I should start using some AI for different things, than to be the person who's using AI and losing half of their mental capacity because they're lazy. It's better that you just avoid AI completely than that you use it as a lazy person. I think I've said that in quite a few videos in the last few months. People who are just wanting to set up agents or use AI so that they can be lazy and lay around, and I don't think that the universe rewards laziness, nor does AI. And so just trying to use AI so that you can be lazy, rich and fat and happy and whatever people want that are lazy. I don't even know what lazy people actually want. I don't like lazy people. So I don't really understand them. I don't want to. But it's probably not a good idea. And the studies now are suggesting that that's a really bad idea, actually. You're better to just not use it at all. But the best thing, of course, is use it to level up. Why would you not? Why? I don't understand why people waste so much time. These devices, if you're not moving off grid because you know what's coming and you don't want to deal with Terminators and government agents in your backyard for having the wrong bumper sticker or something, why would you not use these powerful tools to their maximum? this was a massive report that came from my own curiosity and the things that I've been living the last few years, especially the last several months. So I decided to do some more research into it and put together a real comprehensive report on everything that's been studied, and with everything that I know as a former extreme athlete about flow state and just being able to tap into mental toughness, higher level of consciousness as a human. So I wanted to just figure this out for myself and see what was out there and what I could learn and what AI was going to say, because as much as I distrust AI most of the time, it still, I think, is faster and more able to do the research and has the entirety of human knowledge at its disposal, and it can basically search all of it in a very short period of time, in a matter of hours, and consolidate it, analyze and all that. So